We're here because you're selfish, ungrateful, and tearing this family apart, my mother said into a microphone in my parents' living room. And on my 30th birthday, 40 people sat in folding chairs staring at me. My father holding a 3-page list of everything I'd done wrong since I was 8, my sister filming me live on TikTok. And I didn't cry, didn't leave, just waited, and then said 6 words that changed everything. Funny, I've been recording too. And what happened in the next 11 minutes ended 6 relationships in that room, while my sister deleted her TikTok before she even made it to the car. My name's Faith. I'm 30, an ER nurse in a small town outside Columbus, Ohio. And this is the story of how my family threw a surprise intervention for my birthday and how it became the worst night in Mercer family history. But to understand it, I need to go back 3 months earlier, to a Friday night after a 14-hour ER shift with 2 car accidents, a cardiac arrest, and a kid who swallowed a quarter, sitting in my car smelling of iodine and coffee when 3 messages hit my phone. Mom asking me to cover the insurance bill, Kristen requesting $400 for her online brand course, and Dad sending a photo of a roofing invoice. And after adding up the monthly mortgage, health insurance supplement, car payment, and groceries, I realized I was sending roughly $2,100 a month, nearly half my take-home pay, to a family I barely saw appreciate me, while I lived in a 1-bedroom apartment with IKEA furniture, a 2014 Civic, and hadn't taken a vacation in 8 years. But I never complained, following my grandmother Ruth's lesson that family takes care of family, not realizing the difference between taking care and being taken from, until I discovered the truth about where my money was really going. Sundays were ritualized at my parents' house, arriving at 4 to help Mom prep, set the table, wash dishes from last week, while my sister arrived late with a bottle of wine and earned hugs and attention, her pearls, gifted from Aunt Jeanette, unnoticed, as Grandma Ruth wore hers religiously every visit. And I kept letting these things go, letting favoritism and silence pass, until one Tuesday I stopped by to pick up a jacket and overheard my mother and Kristen conspiring, telling me I was selfish, controlling, and needed an intervention. Kristen excited to film it for content. My pulse racing, frozen in place, as I realized they planned to shame me in front of everyone. And after calling Naomi, my best friend and civil rights attorney, she advised, keep the recorder app from the malpractice scare last year. Start using it. And suddenly, survival became strategy, protection turned to proof, and over the next weeks, I recorded conversations, catching Dad laughing about hiding $14,000 from him, Mom and Jeanette scheming over Grandma Ruth's bracelet sold for $800, and Kristen calling Derek useless one moment and sweet the next, while I quietly documented every betrayal, backing up files, planning the moment when truth would finally be louder than their script. Naomi and I devised the 4th door, the legal recording, Bluetooth speaker rules. Show up normal, let them speak, request private discussion, and if denied, press play. The night becoming a test of endurance, patience, and courage, while Grandma Ruth texted encouragement, reminding me who raised me on Saturdays, reinforcing the strength I needed to confront this performative courtroom they had built in my living room. The night itself arrived, 40 people seated. Marcus, my supervisor, Carla from the ER, Dr. Pham, neighbors, and 2 Bible study friends, sister filming, mother at the microphone, father with the list, all staged under a banner reading, "We love you enough to tell the truth." And as Mom and Dad laid out their accusations, reading patterns of my childhood mistakes, I sat, still and calm, absorbing the betrayal. Then rose, voice steady, asking for a private conversation. Denied. And so I lifted my phone, announcing, "Funny, I've been recording too," and pressed play. The Bluetooth speaker bringing Dad's casual, unguarded laughter over hidden payments into the room, Mom's conspiratorial conversation with Aunt Jeanette about the $14,000 and sold bracelet, Kristen's bitter then sweet comments about Derek, the air thick with disbelief as masks fell, the audience of 40 now witnessing the truth, red dots blinking on the tripod, live stream ended mid-play, the room silent, stunned, every head turning as reality unspooled before them, and I calmly stated, "Starting tonight, I am no longer paying the mortgage, insurance, or Kristen's car payment, canceling auto transfers, reclaiming control over my life." Hands steady, chest light, freedom crystallizing as Mom's calls went unanswered. Dad moved out quietly days later. Kristen sobbed over a ruined marriage. Derek changed locks, and I sat, finally alone, in my apartment, dark, listening to nothing. For the first time in 8 years, my paycheck fully mine, doing the math for the first time in years, paying off student loans, opening a retirement account, booking a proper visit to Grandma Ruth, simple joy replacing obligation, while work life regained balance, as Marcus and Carla now approached me with respect, mundane happiness resettling in my life. Tiny purchases like a $5 plant on my counter becoming symbols of autonomy, and when Mom confronted me 6 weeks later in the parking lot, claiming I couldn't cut her off, I unlocked my car, set my bag inside, and walked away gently. A soft click behind me, knowing that the intervention she orchestrated had failed. Her narrative dismantled, my life reclaimed. The verdict finally clear. The selfish one was never me. And as I pressed the phone to my chest, reading Grandma Ruth's text, proud and affirming, the quiet Ohio night embraced me, my 30th birthday ending not in shame, but in liberation, empowerment, and the profound realization that survival and truth can coexist, and that sometimes the only way to truly honor yourself is to press play.